Well, I was born on May 27th and
Oh my gosh. Well, welcome to Average Age Groupers. We have another guest today. She made a brief appearance probably a few episodes ago by the time this will come out. But we have Tarah joining us.
hello.
Welcome.
I probably messed up our intro. I didn't say
No,
what
Maggie, we don't actually have an intro yet. Maybe by I don't know, year one, we'll get it locked down.
Yeah.
Your first anniversary gift to yourself as an intro.
Scripted intro.
Yeah.
I mean, who needs a scripted intro, really? Like, TTL doesn't do a scripted intro.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
I could
but I
rattle
feel
off what they typically say.
Exactly. And even you, Holly, for Enneagram Adventure, I was listening earlier today, and you all have gotten to a very standard intro. But you're also at 60 some episodes, so maybe it'll take us that long.
That's
Well,
amazing.
I can give you my spiel. I mean, and Maggie already introduced us, but this is Average Age Groupers, where we're here to tell the stories of the average endurance athlete, not elite.
Yes.
Although, Maggie, you're approaching elite level. I'm Holly,
I don't know
by
about
the way.
that.
We're going for Kona, so
Fingers crossed. Fingers really crossed for that one.
I'm Laura, also, by the way. It's raining outside
Maggie.
here and it's slightly triggering.
Oh no! As long as it's not hail, but I mean,
It is
sometimes
raining.
rain just sounds like hail now because we've seen so much of it.
So much
Yeah,
of it.
Tarah and Laura went through it together. Major storms.
Yeah, Tara probably could have been on our recap episode.
Man,
But
I'm excited to listen to that one.
It literally went for 2 hours. So,
Oh, that's fun. Okay,
Uh-huh.
great. Yeah. Was it just you three?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
it's pretty raw.
I told people, I was like, I won't be offended if you skip this one.
No, I want people to listen to that one. I'm like, if
Mag's
you're
like,
going to listen
"Listen."
to an episode, listen to that one.
All right, so
I
knowing
cried
that
at
this
least
one is
twice.
yes, at least I don't more than twice, I'm pretty sure. But so this is going to be 2 weeks after that one. So if you haven't listened to the Unbound recap, Maggie is requesting that you go back and listen to it.
And it was like
You'll be
a
able to
raw
find it easily.
recap.
Yeah.
That was a raw recap. Like,
Those
it
are
was
the
less
best
than
ones.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have Tara on.
Well,
so
I was going to say,
let's-
before we go into Tara's story, I want to hear about Lake Mills really quick because you guys did that yesterday.
What was Lake Mills?
It's a
The
sprint triathlon
Oh.
in Wisconsin.
Well, if by doing
How
None
Lake
of us
Mills
participated.
being there, then yes.
I was not physically there.
Laura was at a wedding. Aaron and I didn't do it. There was no way. I'm still not recovered
yeah.
from Unbound at this point.
Reasonably so.
Yeah, and so I also have zero interest in doing sprint triathlon. I am very jaded to very long events. And to
Sprint one
me,
hurt.
well, to me it's not worth hauling my shit for something that's only going to
It's
take an
always-
hour
yeah.
and a half. So I'm like, you go, you have to. It takes all the same
work.
things. So I know that I'm very jaded on that. I get it. Sorry, this is not meaning to offend anyone who loves sprint triathlon. It's a different
People
kind
who
of
do
art.
sprint triathlons, you are also champions. Do not.
Yes. Yes. Because you do so much work for a short term
Yes.
stint.
I mean, the whole team was done. We had 8 people racing. They were all done by 10 a.m.
You could still go to brunch.
We did.
foreign to
We
me.
went to brunch.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it went good
Yeah.
from what everyone said.
Everybody had a good day. I think it was good for the people that are doing multiple races through the years, a bit of a rust buster. So, testing all of the things. It was wetsuit legal. I think the water, I think they measured on the edge of the lake. And I was like, there's no freaking way the water's that warm. But it was still wetsuit legal. But a few people didn't wear wetsuits. Claire finished 6th in her age group. What I will say, though, is
Nice.
shortly after Unbound, Tara posted a thing about women in endurance sports.
Yes.
And while we were at Lake Mills, first of all, Claire had in her head that she could win her age group. There's somebody who put that idea in her head.
That was definitely my fault.
And she totally could have. But what we realized while we were at Lake Mills, and this goes back to shortly after Unbound, I reposted a post that Tara made about women in endurance sports. There are like 6 or 7 age group categories for men at this sprint triathlon and 3 for women.
Wow. What?
Wait.
Yeah. So the women's age group spans a decade. There are 3 age groups and they span
That's
a decade.
insane.
And the last one is 45 plus. So if you're over 45, it's everyone over 45. So
was it always this way? I feel like it was not.
I don't know
That's
what
crazy.
made them do this. So then in Claire's age group, there are 30 women, but she finished 6th. I mean, it's still relatively small when you consider this. This is a very big sprint triathlon in our area.
It's
There
the
were
World
900
Championship.
people there. So
Wow. It's not fair.
only 30 in Claire's age group, which would have been she's 29. So whatever that one is,
So
I don't
20
know.
to 30 or something.
20 to 30
Yeah.
or
20 to
whatever it
29,
was.
yeah.
Yeah. But still, so I was like looking at that. I was like, she probably would have won her age group had it been divided the same
If it
way
was a
as the
standard.
men.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
I did not realize that. Yeah, I did put that in.
We
my
need
head,
more
so
women in sport.
Yep.
Desperately.
And to the point of
Yep.
sprint triathlon, even though I don't personally like it, they're done by 10 a.m. So it's not the same time commitment as.
I was just thinking you could call it like brunchers friendly try, something like that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Appeal to the brunching crowd.
Yes.
I don't know what brunch is anymore, so.
No. There'll be days where we like do something short and then you look around and you're like, is this what normal people do?
Yes, yeah.
They like
Oh, I have the rest of my Saturday left.
go get coffee or something. I'm like, wow. That's
What do I
nice.
do with all this time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we usually finish the long runs and then have to go get lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. Well, that was
Well,
like
I'm glad it was a good race for everyone. Yeah.
All right.
Well, now we can dive into Tara's story.
Okay.
You have done so many things throughout the course of your
Yes,
athletic
I have,
pursuits.
yes.
I was clued into some of them on our car drive to Kansas. So, I mean, wherever you want to start, whatever you
Again.
feel like you want to share about, but you've done a lot of different sports.
I have. Not all of them well. If it involves the ball, I'm probably not. I should probably not be the first pick on your team. But yes, I started as a horseback rider, oddly. I feel like
Me
you
too.
don't hear that too often in terms of... Who said that?
Holly.
Holly. Oh, yes. So I heard about this from Maggie. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about it because you did horse training, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So cool, because I'm very into dog training. So, and I know you have 2 like pretty high drive dogs, right?
Yes. Well,
Here's
I mean,
Flora.
One of
And then
them.
Flora.
Royce is very high drive.
Yeah.
Yes.
So cool.
Anyway, sorry. Yes.
Yes, we digress. But
Yeah.
so I started by showing horses and was on a team. So that was also the first introduction I had to team sports. And believe it or not, you can be on a horseback riding team. We traveled around different farms on let's say like the eastern seaboard, probably like Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia area. And we would draw horses' names out of a hat when we got there. So we had no idea what kind of horse we'd be riding. And that also, I think, started to encourage my adaptability to various things because I had no idea what kind of horse I'd be getting on. And we would show for points. So we would compete as a team. Each rider was scored, and that would add up to a team total. I think I've reflected on a lot in terms of horseback riding is the responsibility that it teaches you at a really young age. I had kind of a horse of my own. He was my aunt's, but my aunt only lived a mile down the road and she wasn't riding him. So I would ride him a lot, and I would actually like load him up in the trailer. My mom would drive us to the local equestrian center over the summer, and probably like most weekends throughout the summer in my elementary to middle school years were spent at the equestrian center. And it was a lot of work. You guys talk about, oh, is this what a normal Saturday looks like? Or like going to brunch and stuff like that. My weekends were always full of horse meets and stuff like that. So that was really, I'm very, very thankful for that time in my life. And then I started from there. I dabbled around with some like ball sports, as we call them, like soccer and softball and stuff like that. Was not great. I loved soccer because I got to run. And so that was my first introduction into running, really, was soccer. So
Did you keep up the horseback riding when you started trying other sports?
I did a little bit less intense. So I think maybe I wasn't doing the team stuff and I still had my horse, but it started to taper off a little bit. My horse passed away. And then that was kind of a natural bridge into something else. And that's when I got more heavily into running. So soccer was the time when I really discovered like, oh, this running thing's pretty cool. Like just put me at midfield and I get to run back and forth down back the field the whole time. Coordination was not great, but who cares if I got to run? So yeah.
Which is
That
like
was
the
that.
polar opposite of a lot of people. They're always like, we have to run.
Yes, exactly.
I remember I played soccer very briefly when I was younger, and we would do, I don't remember what the drill was called, but you would have to sprint the diagonals of the field, and then you could jog around the corners and then sprint the diagonals again. Everyone hated it. People were like, I'm going to pass out. I can't do it.
Of course.
Opposite of you.
The whiners. Never been much of a sprinter, but I could be out there for a really long time. And I think that's why I was an asset, you know, like if I was in at the beginning of the game, then maybe take a break in the middle, they could throw me back at the end and then would still have the stamina for it. That was my middle school started with kind of softball, soccer, and then track. And that's what really got me into the running field, track and cross country and 6th grade, I'd say I started. And that's when I had a coach named Coach Evans who was very transformative in my athletic development. And also, I think about him a lot too when I coach now and the kind of characteristics I want to embody as a coach. And he taught me weightlifting he introduced me to the weight room in 7th grade, which is crazy to think about. But I would go with him sometimes in the morning before school with a couple of other guys from the team. And he would take us on base because he was former military. And we would lift some weights in the morning. It was awesome. I loved it.
It's so cool and so rare. I was waiting for you to bring this up because my twin sister ran cross country and track, and they would do like ab circuits, but otherwise no strength training. And all of them got injured. Partially, I mean, multiple reasons. I think at the time, still a lot of coaches were treating young women as just like smaller boys, which the training does not directly translate. So you can't just pretend they're going to be the same. But then without the strength training, there's no injury prevention.
Yeah. That's really tricky and especially as the volume starts to increase at that age and we're not fully developed yet. There's so much going on. So to be in the weight room and feel empowered by Coach Evans and actually learning about how to lift properly. Like he taught me how to bench. I was doing dips for the first time and pull-ups and all that kind of stuff. So it was really neat. And I always felt very supported by him. And from there, weight training has always been a part of my regimen and something that I have never really let go of. It ebbs and flows in terms of how often I'm doing it. I did go through a period, which we can get to at some point, but later, after college, I started lifting almost exclusively, and I wasn't doing a ton of endurance sports for a good 5 years. I would run occasionally, but I was really focused on lifting, and I think that's helped me a lot as an endurance athlete now. That's kind of the story of Coach Evans and how that came to be. Cross country was really my love. I got to be in the woods. I love the woods, kind of get lost on the trails. And that really picked up even more when I was in high school because we had a really good cross country team and a little course on campus too. So
that's awesome. What events did you do for track?
I did the mile and 2 mile, or I guess at that time I think they called it the 1500 and the whatever 3000 or something weird. I don't know. 3200 is what it was.
Yes.
I don't know how that added up, but
going that many times around a track just.
It's a little intimidating to think about now. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, how many times total
I was actually
is that?
looking 4 and 8.
Is that right?
Yeah, 4 times is a mile.
8. Yep. Yeah. But still 8 times.
I know it really does. I think about too the Olympians and how really an 800 is a sprint.
Yes.
The entire time, and to think about sprinting for 2 laps is just makes me want to barf. Yeah, just thinking about it. But I was looking at somebody's Strava today, and I think they're doing a 50K or a 50 miler or something, and they did 10 miles on the track. And actually, my brain is breaking trying to think about how many laps that would 40? Yeah. 40 laps around a track.
It's a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God. Oh.
Wait, but okay, how do you guys feel swimming laps?
Oh, I hate it.
I love it.
Same. No,
Stupid.
thank you.
Why do you Maggie, why do you love it?
I think I'm so used to it because I grew up swimming. So I feel so like my mind is zen
At peace,
in
yeah.
a pool. Like it's just you can't hear anything. You're
really
not
nice.
really looking around at a lot of stuff. It's very peaceful
Yeah.
to me. Yeah.
I can see how it would be appealing for somebody to run a ton of times around a track because there is very little that you have to think about. You don't have to think about stoplights or like weird curbs or anything like that. So it could be very zen in that way too. But unfortunately, you can still hear things. So
Put on some noise canceling headphones.
yeah, you could do that.
It would be boring.
So boring. But to each their own.
Yep. The problem with like pool, it would also be counting. I guess if you have your watch though. Because like in the pool, that's what like gets me if I have to do like a long set. It's the having to keep track.
I'm like, am
of
I
the
at
counting.
10 or 11?
Yeah. So
Have you guys ever done a race that's been really boring?
for sure.
I don't think
Which
I
one are you
have.
thinking of?
Like a running race that's boring?
I mean, not that it was super long,
any,
but
like,
I
a
went and I did a
triathlon.
5K. It was just a tiny little 5K that was just like a straight out and back on like a straight country road as like corn.
That would be pretty boring.
And then I'm trying to think if there's other ones that I
think
thought
I had
were boring. There's been ones that I really didn't like. Would I call them boring?
Yeah, I wouldn't call them boring. I just wouldn't do them again.
Chattanooga.
I've done a boring one.
Chattanooga's run is
Really?
just- ugh.
I mean, I don't think it's boring. Would I do it again? No.
Why?
Loved the bike.
The
hated
fact
run.
that I was running down a highway
It's the running
and had
down-
to do it
That's
twice.
kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Like
Do they close the
full-on-
highway down?
they do.
No.
Oh.
No, it's like
The-
shut to one.
The one side, yeah.
I think Kelly and I looked at each other at one point and we were like, why are we on a highway?
Why are we
It's
here?
too long to be on the highway.
This is stupid.
There's also a great video of Holly during that race with her quads cramping, and it looks
Oh,
like she's
no.
gonna just collapse.
I did collapse. What's not in the video is
You
me,
know
like,
the
sitting
like
on the side.
I think I'm pretty sure I made like a TikTok that it was like, oh no, no, no. Like
That's great.
the best part of that, sorry, squirrel, is like I had the bike of my life. And so like I am
You really
so happy. And Holly's just like, oh my God.
Did you do the
my
full?
No,
both
Or is it a
did the
half?
The half.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, okay.
Sorry,
So,
squirrel.
Tara's story.
Cross country, high school.
Yes.
What
Got
came
to high
after?
school cross country. What came after that? Well,
Yeah.
I really wanted to run in college, which is actually what initially got me interested in William and Mary because they had a phenomenal women's cross country team. They also had a kinesiology department, which at the time was not super common for kines. It is more of a common major or offering now, and they have a gorgeous campus. So, anyhow, I think I got I was being looked at by a few colleges, but then my junior year, I got injured because I did fairly well in cross country and track for 9th, 10th, and a little bit of 11th grade until I got injured. 2 stress fractures in my tibia and my fibula that were initially misdiagnosed as shin splints until I got the bone scan. And that is the first time that I really learned what it looks like to advocate for yourself in medicine and why that's so important for us as athletes, especially as female athletes. And it was a hard lesson at a young-ish age. I had a feeling in my gut that it was something more than shin splints, but at the time my parents were military, so we were going on base. So sometimes there were some hoops that you had to jump through to get certain like referrals and stuff like that to get various scans. And I think I just got the x-rays and then they were, I remember this so clearly. They were treating me with the ultrasound for, I can't remember what that modality is, but anyways, they were doing some type of like sonic wave treatment for my stress fractures or rather for the shin splints. And they were like, oh, if you had stress fractures, this would be causing a lot of pain. So obviously that's not what this is. And I was like, I don't really think you're right, but okay, I'll go with it. So 6 to 8 weeks, that's what I was being treated for. I wasn't on crutches or anything like that. And after the 8 weeks, nothing got better. And finally they were like, okay, I guess we'll give you a bone scan. And then it showed up clear as day on the bone scan that I had 2 stress fractures. And that took me out for a long time. It took a long time to heal. And then after that, I was running scared for honestly several years.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get hurt again. As a junior in high school, going from running, like 7-ish miles a day to not anything at all. And like going through this awkward puberty stage and everything else like that, like I definitely gained a little bit of weight. I was on crutches for a while, and just creeps in the self-image challenges that you already have as a teenager in high school. And mentally, that was just a really hard time for me. So the running paused. I didn't end up going to college for running specifically, but I did go to William and Mary. And as soon as I got there, I learned about their rec programs. They had a really awesome rec building, like gym essentially, but it had like volleyball courts, whatever, normal college rec center. And they had fitness classes that were led by students there. And I was really intrigued by that. So I became a spin instructor and a Les Mills body pump instructor my freshman year of college, and that's when it was awesome.
So there are some similarities here to Laura, yeah?
Please tell.
Well, I mean, I taught I did not teach body pump, but I taught Zumba in college. So like I went.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
My hips
So
don't
like
lie.
yeah, I mean, I could probably still whip out a class here if we wanted to one day.
Absolutely. Next podcast.
But yeah, so like I taught group fitness classes all through college as well. Like I also taught ballet because I was classically trained my whole life. So that's where the Zumba kind of comes in. But yeah, so also
Ballet to
did
Zumba.
that.
I don't know that I really would have made that that
No.
like natural jump, but the dance thing I do get.
Count to 8 and everything, you know?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
That's really cool. Yeah, I loved it. It was a really neat way to spend my college years, and
like,
got
for
super
me, it
involved
was-
at the rec center.
Like I then got like free like stuff at our like school gym and stuff. Like
Yeah.
so I always figured out the way to like do the thing to get paid and reap the benefits of things. So
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too, Laura. Is like it was a job. I did get paid for that, so that was awesome. Like I enjoyed doing it. I got to meet a bunch of people, and yeah it was fun. So, and that continued kind of my weightlifting trajectory, even though it was in a different way. Body pump was weightlifting. I don't know why I put it in quotes. It is. You are lifting weights. It's just not. It's different approach. And then when I graduated, crazily, William and Mary has an awesome cycling team too.
Oh,
and
really?
I would see them around, and I had a bike that I would commute with on campus, but I wasn't a cyclist at all at that time. And then graduated, started doing CrossFit. So that's when I got very into weightlifting almost exclusively. Started training with a weightlifting club that was doing Olympic style lifting and wanted to do a meet, and was kind of intimidated by the idea of weight classes. That was something that was tough for me because there's a strategy in weightlifting and what weight class you're in, because you want to be kind of like in the top of your weight class. So that way you have theoretically like more mass to move the weight. But then if you're, kind of on the cusp of that, then you bump up into the next weight class, but then you're in the bottom of the ring. So it's kind of like making weight, like wrestlers. And anyways, I struggled with that a little bit because I was like right in between, and I was a novice lifter, and of course I'm very competitive, so I wanted to do well. And my first meet I also wasn't able to do because I got injured for that too. And it was something, I think I just had like tendonitis kind of in my forearm, and it prohibited me from going overhead. And for both lifts, for the snatching and the clean and jerk, you have to go overhead. So couldn't do that, but found an awesome community through CrossFit.
Yeah.
Went very regularly. It was a time in my life where I was doing 2-days weightlifting sessions like twice a week. So I was like very committed with that. And it was at CrossFit that I was introduced to cycling because one of my very good friends, Melissa, yes, her husband, Doug, was a cyclist. And Melissa really enjoyed riding bikes as well. She didn't do it competitively or anything, but she's like, Tara, I'd really love to take you on a bike ride, because she knew I was a bike commuter at that time in DC. And we went on our first bike ride together. Actually, I remember it was Military Road that we did.
Really?
Which is a very hilly road in Arlington. I just remember dying on that hill. And Melissa was like, this is so fun.
Were you on flat pedals?
Yeah. No. Did I was clipping in at that point. Yeah.
were you
But I was
on your
just in, like, a
commuter
tank
bike for
top.
this?
I had a commute. Well, it was a Trek men's design at that time. They don't have that anymore. But Oh, it was Alexa, Trek Lexa. If you, for the old, yeah, I don't know.
We can look it up.
Yeah, exactly. It was still
I
a
gotta
road bike.
Google
It
it.
wasn't, yeah, it wasn't like totally a hybrid, but I called her Black Beauty. She was all black.
Love it.
Actually, I bet Amir has seen that bike because I think
Yeah?
because I was riding that when Amir and I met at Bike Doctor years ago. But anyways, they met Amir, right? When he was on the pod? Yes. Okay,
Well,
cool.
Laura wasn't on that pod, but Holly was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, that Melissa got me into cycling. I got my first flat that ride too.
Yeah.
But I know it was
Oh,
a mess.
no.
But anyways, we had a great time. I loved it, and that's when I like really got into cycling.
For you to be like doing those hills and get a flat and still end that and be like,
I was
I
like,
love it. I
yes.
want to keep doing it is very impressive.
Yeah.
Look, you fit right in.
So exactly, yes. Here for the torture. And then I did triathlons thereafter. So got into the cycling aspect of it, and that was kind of my intro into tries. And I can't remember what possessed me to try.
I
my
was
first
going to
triathlon.
ask. I was like, it's not just a completely natural jump to
Yeah.
be like, I like biking. I'm also going to
Let's try
add
this.
swimming and running to that.
I really don't know what got me interested in it. I didn't. Oh, it was my best friend from college, Mallory. So our first triathlon was Eagleman 70.3. I hadn't done a sprint or anything like that's like totally like just full.
This
send,
is
you know,
just
whatever.
like Tara goes full fledged
Yep.
intense.
Like,
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I
Just
did my
goes
first
for it.
triathlon, just a half Ironman. No big deal.
That is a race that I consider very boring.
That so I was wondering if you were going to say that actually because that one popped into mind. Are you guys familiar with Eagleman?
I mean,
It's the same
We've
course
never
as
done it.
Maryland.
Never done it.
Yeah.
Maryland is just twice.
Oh, is it
Oh,
really?
So
That's unfortunate.
boring. Mhm.
It is a boring course for real. But it could be a fast course though.
It can be, depending
Yeah.
on the wind on the bike.
Probably
And
a
if it
course
doesn't
that suits
flood
me
on the
'cause
run.
it's also very flat, isn't it?
Flood.
It's
very
flat
pancake
as fuck.
Yeah.
I think it's
Perfect.
400 feet of elevation over the whole 112-mile
It's
bike.
pretty crazy. Yeah.
Which is like,
you do
perfect
these
for
itty
me.
bitty
That's like-
bridges.
that's
Oh,
like
I love that.
totally my,
Dang, it's
that's
super
totally
arrow
my
fly.
deal. Yeah.
Oh my god.
but aren't there jellyfish? Isn't that there's jellyfish?
There, yes. I didn't get stung the year that I did it. Also, you say you want a flat bike, but wait until you do a flat bike for
done a
6
flat bike.
hours.
It's really boring.
For 6 hours?
Okay.
Well, North Carolina's flat.
California's gonna be flat.
California's going to be flat.
Was it Wilmington is flat?
Yeah.
The bike is flat.
The on ramps
Yeah,
are
that's
the elevation.
Yeah, the only hills are on ramps. Yep.
I remember Eagleman. I trying to convince myself to pee on the bike for the first time.
Oh.
Did you?
And I did, but it took me a very long
impressive.
time because I kept having to like talk myself into it and coax myself into it. But then the second I was ready to go, I would like have to turn or something, and then I would just be like just seize back up. And I was like, I really need to pee so that I can drink more water. So yeah, eventually I did. But
I still have not peed on the bike. I've peed over my bike, but not while I'm
wait, how'd you
moving.
pee over your bike, Maggie?
This was
Exactly
at
how it
70
sounds.
Tutorial.
This was
Standing
at
over it.
70.3 Muscleman. I don't know what.
Did you stop and
Yes, I don't know what was
on the side of the course, just like straddle your bike and just let her rip?
Harry, you witnessed her pee on the ground.
I know. That's pretty great.
I don't know if I,
I like
told.
that she asked permission first too.
I don't know if I
Andy's
told.
still really disappointed he didn't get that on camera.
Well, yeah, it was very entertaining. But I don't know if I told this story when I did my like overview recap. But 70.3 Muscleman, I don't know what was going on, but I had to pee so much that whole race. So I got out of the swim and I was like, I'll be fine. I can make it to the first aid station on the bike at least. Incorrect.
Nope.
I had to pee so badly, and I was like, I'm not gonna make it to this aid station. I really tried to pee while I was moving, and I could not do it, so I just pulled off on the side of the road, and I stood there and peed over my bike.
Gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
Yep.
I always say once you get into triathlon or any endurance sport, like there is nothing off limits anymore.
Right.
It's just-
Exactly.
Yeah. Like open up 2 car doors, you can pee anywhere.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Car doors are optional these days, but you know.
Right. You could be on a trail and just
Yep.
drop your pants, and there are people coming.
Have somebody walk right on by.
That has happened when
Did you
Tarah and I
mention-
have run together.
But did you mention in your Unbound recap when you had to pee and the guy that made direct eye contact with you, Maggie?
No, I didn't. I don't think I did. Okay, so this was between. It was between 100 and 160. I had to pee again. And I was like, well, I'm just going to go on the side of the road. So I pull off. And I mean, it's grass.
Yeah.
Like there's nowhere to
Nowhere.
hide.
There's no trees
But-
to pee behind.
No trees to pee behind. So I was like, well, I'm just going to do this. Luckily, there weren't a lot of bikes around me at that time, but I like pop a squat, shorts are down,
Drop trowel.
and then this truck drives by and makes direct eye contact with me.
Howdy, sir.
Like, sorry.
Wait, did you have drop bibs on? Okay, good.
Yes.
That would have been a nightmare. if you had to
Otherwise, would have been a
take your
nightmare.
jersey off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord for drop tail
He
bibs.
would have seen a lot more of me
Yeah.
than he already did.
Lucky
so.
him.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so how did Eagleman go for you?
Eagleman was great. Mallory ended up catching up to me on the run, I think, or we like met each other, and because we got a little bit separated on the bike, and then we did end up crossing the finish line holding hands, which was super fun.
Cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that was I really enjoyed that race. I loved it, not for the course itself, but just the essence of a half Ironman. And from there, started doing more. The reason why we wanted to do it was because Mallory was going into med school, and she knew that when she was in med school, it's going to just be tough to manage that kind of training load. So that was really the race that fit our schedules the best.
Yeah.
And it was local-ish, so that was nice. Then started getting more into the halves. I did do Wilmington. I can't remember what other half Ironmans I did, but that's the one. Wilmington 2019, I qualified for Worlds, and then COVID happened, so no New Zealand for me.
You didn't
Yeah.
take the deferral?
I did. It was going to be in Utah the following year, but
Oh
then
my God, we could have hung
lo and
out.
We went to we
They
went in
were there.
2022. We went to
Dang
Worlds in
it.
2022. Yeah.
that's awesome. Where was it in 2022? That was also Utah?
That was also Utah.
Yeah.
They did back to back.
Okay.
21 and
Back
22.
years.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah. But I got injured again before that. So, yeah. I have a long history of injuries.
But still
Really
coming
stinks.
back.
Yes.
Which is,
yeah. Learned a lot,
impressive.
bounced back quickly. And then once I got injured, actually, that was the reason why I started getting more heavily into cycling, because I couldn't run. That's when I started doing more of like the bigger stuff. So that was 2021. Then in 2022, I did Croatan Buck 50, Unbound 200.
Well, okay, but
stuff.
say more about Unbound 200. Tara's being very humble right now.
She is, because like I've heard the story. Yeah, tell the story.
Unbound 200 was, Croatan Buck 50 is really where like my endurance stuff started. I did pretty well there. I think I got third. That was super fun. It was a fast course because that's also pancake flat, but there are so many freaking potholes. There were so many potholes during that race that once I started driving that evening, I felt like I should have been dodging potholes on the road. It was such a surreal feeling. I cannot even describe it. And that one was also particularly funny because both at Unbound and Croatan Buck 50, I had some gnarly like face plants.
Oh,
but
no.
I hit a really big pothole that I misjudged, and I went flying over my bike at Croatan Buck 50. And I was riding with the same thing happened with Unbound. I was riding with a group. Well, it was like a couple of guys, and we were trading pulls and stuff like that. But as soon as I went over, I think probably mid-air, I was like, wait for me. So I, as soon as I could, got back on the bike and like bolted back up to them. And I had aero bars on my bike for that race because it was so flat. And like at the end of the race, my aero bars were all jacked up from that thing because I like couldn't fix them in time. So yeah, that was a really fast, fun one. And then it was a great prep for Unbound just because it was actually like a race sim sort of thing in the sense that I was going for that long nonstop, and it was a supported race. And it was hot too, so that was helpful with a lot of crosswinds. And then Unbound came around, and I was in excellent bike shape. I've been doing a lot of volume. I hadn't done any other big long rides other than, but I did a lot of days out on the plane, just stacked back to back, like big 90-miler kind of things. And then I think that was one of the first years that they started doing it with Lifetime. And so the elites were there. It was a really cool vibe. I went with one of my friends at the time who we hadn't really made a plan to like stick together per se, but we were of similar abilities. We just had no idea how the race was going to shake out. We did end up getting separated, I don't know, maybe in the first like 50-ish miles or so. It's tough to stay together for a race like that. And I had an absolute blast. I always say that Unbound is probably, I know, I'm so sorry. It's one of the best times that I've ever had on my bike. It feels so sad to say compared to you guys. We did have great weather that day. It was not stupid hot like it had been, I think, the year prior. I knew somebody who did it in 2021, I believe, and she really struggled with the heat, and she's an excellent rider. But my year, it was hot, but not like crazy 90s kind of thing. And I ended up I won my age group that year, which was super fun, and came in at like, I think my time was 12:32 or something like that. So
Amazing.
it was really great.
Really epic. Very impressive.
Thank you. Yeah. I will. One thing that I remember about that race is one of my bottles, I did a super high concentrate carb bottle. I had 500 grams of carbs in one bottle. It was like sludge, but man, that thing got me through. It was somehow I managed the nutrition really well with that race. I only had like one instance where I was like, ooh, this doesn't fit. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Truly. It was a thick sludge. But yeah.
Didn't you fall off your bike and yell to one of the guys you were biking
Yep, sure did. Bruno was his name. I will never forget. Bruno from Belgium. We were riding together. I had been in a group with several guys again, and we were trading pulls, and eventually I think Bruno and I, this is towards it must have been before the last aid station. We did have a lot of mud the year that I did it. There was definitely the classic Kansas peanut butter mud for sure. And I face planted hard in some mud. And so there are several times along the way that the photographers at aid stations were like, please, can I take a picture of you? This is amazing. Because it wasn't like the mud fest like you guys had where everybody was covered. Like, this is very clearly like homegirl went down. So but yeah, when I did that, I think probably like midair again, I was like, Bruno, don't leave me. And what was even harder is like couldn't see anymore because my glasses were crazy. I think at some point we might have gotten a little bit of rain, but it was like a drizzle compared to what you guys had. So yeah, Bruno waited though. Class act.
We love it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So did you do any shorter bike races or mostly just the really long stuff?
I dabbled. I dabbled in the shorter races, mainly for road stuff, because I started with a couple of other local girls. We started a road cycling team around here, and road just really wasn't my thing. I wasn't feeling it. My heart really wasn't in road. I'm glad that I gave it a shot. I did local races around here. We did travel. We did, what's that stage race in Tucson Bicycle Classic, TBC.
Oh, okay.
We did that as a team. And yeah, just wasn't. I'm more of like, I did Oregon Gravel Grinder too. Was the other like really big race that I've done, which phenomenal. I recommend it to anybody.
Have you done that one twice?
Did it once.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. But the shorter stuff is just not. I agree with Holly. Like it's too much of a drag to like go out there. And you know what's crazy though? Like for your triathlon, sometimes those you can be done for those shorter triathlons. You can be done sooner. But with these shorter road races, depending on what time you start and depending on where they're at, like it can take almost a whole day, it feels like. I went a whole day to ride my bike for 35 miles.
Yeah.
And the other thing that is tricky with these shorter races is oftentimes, this is more specific to just bike races, but oftentimes you feel like you don't really get a good workout. You have to mentally commit to the fact that this is a race day, not a workout day, because you could be drafting the entire time and then, the sprint is the sprint. And that's really the only like high power work that you're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I'm just like, I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
I'm too slow for any of that stuff that's like shorter too, right? So like I'd rather go at, zone 2 all day long, right? Than like for 30 minutes.
I don't want to go that hard
or whatever. Yeah.
No.
Not interested.
Yeah. Seeing stars. Yeah.
It feels very different. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like I want to barf at the end.
No, thanks.
No.
Yeah.
Do you guys work any intensity into your training as is?
Yeah. Yeah. I very much am a fan of like the 80-20 rule though, right? So it's like very, like the intensity is so little compared to the whole thing. And for Unbound, the coach that I worked with, the intensity was only hill climb workouts. That was it.
Oh,
So once a week I would go climb hills, and that was the
Smart,
only intensity that we did. So
that's what you need. It's good for the. It was good for the task.
Yeah.
we've talked about the biking. We've talked a little bit about triathlon.
There's a small thing
but
you're
there's-
preparing for right now.
Right. And like you don't
Little
just
bitty.
like you don't just start with a 240-mile run race, which means there has to be some other ultras that you've done that
Wouldn't
like,
it be funny if she just did though? If she was like,
don't you have to qualify for Moab? Like you have to get into that.
She's like,
right?
I've been injured running,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna go do a 240-mile race. No previous runs.
Yeah. Just
That'd
gonna
be
jump
crazy.
right in. Dive in.
I mean, I will say, like, I don't know if you listened to the podcast where we did my story, but I went from half marathon to 50 miler. Like, no. So, like,
road, 50
no
mile
judgment.
road.
It was-
running.
yeah, running.
Yeah. It was
So-
one of Holly's worst races ever. She hated it.
It was terrible.
sorry.
Anyway, that's all. You can listen to that episode if you really
will,
want
I
the whole deets on that terrible race. But I'm pretty sure Moab, don't they have like a requirement like you have to have done?
I'm trying to think back to the submission, like the lottery submission, and I can't remember if I don't know if they asked what previous ultra I had done.
Okay.
Maybe they did, because I did do grindstone. I just didn't finish. I did 50 miles of grindstone instead of this full 62 or whatever it was supposed to be for the 100K. That was back in September. Maggie was there for it. But what possessed me to sign up for Moab? I mean, that was the longest one. Before that, I hadn't even done a marathon before I did grindstone. So I've
you
not
got up to
been-
what?
I get it.
Like 24 when we did
for butts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then grindstone was the 100K with a lot of climbing. Oh my gosh, it was a ton of climbing. And I watched a documentary, which is what really jazzed me up about Moab. And then I went deep in on the ultra world. To answer your question, I'm doing the Silver Rush 50 miler in Leadville, Colorado in July. I previously did complete 100K back in April. I did my first full 100K in New River Gorge, West Virginia, called the Falling Waters 100K, and that was a beautiful race. It was really tough. I learned a lot during that race. That will definitely be applying to Moab. But Moab's just a lottery, so it's not like necessarily you don't qualify for it. And I don't know how many people actually applied versus got in. I think there are about like 250-ish participants. Yeah. That's
interesting,
That's what
'cause
I'm
I-
working toward now.
like Badwater, you have to, because that's only 135, and they won't let you in until you've done a 100-miler. Like,
Oh,
you have to-
interesting. I did not
yeah.
know that about Badwater.
I only know that
I wonder if
because
that's
of
'cause of
David
conditions.
Goggins, but
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
What did he talk about that in?
Well,
Was that one
because
of
he
his books,
wanted to
or-
do Badwater. Yeah, it's in his first book, Can't Hurt Me. He talks about, so then he did a 24-hour race to prove that he could do 100 miles so that he could get into Badwater.
Did you do his book on audiobook?
Yes. Yep.
Because he narrates it and it's insane.
That's the one that we've listened to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've
You
listened
guys
to
listen
it
to it together?
Yeah. Driving
That's
somewhere
some race.
in one of our many car rides together.
That's great bonding.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. His second one is good too, if you guys haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah.
I'll have to listen to
It's
that
like
one.
they're right there.
I think I read his first book. I don't think I've read the second one.
It's worth
We have them
the
both.
listen.
Yeah. If you'd like to borrow, I have both in book and audio.
Perfect.
How close will you be to them when you move?
It'll be like 4.5 hours.
Oh, not okay.
But
not as close.
in that
closer
area,
than she
that's
is.
like a
That's you're like
that's like an easy
Next
trip.
door.
My twin sister lives in Minneapolis and goes down to Wisconsin to my parents' house like at least once a month.
really.
I mean, I was in Rochester this morning. So
So why were you in Rochester
New
this
York?
morning?
no, Minnesota. I had a
Minnesota.
wedding yesterday.
I'm like, wait a second.
I had
okay.
a Sunday wedding.
Where the Mayo Clinic is in Rochester, Minnesota. I feel like that's the
a good
biggest thing
landmark, yeah.
in Rochester.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
Maybe
big
there's something
thing.
else, but was Furbutt's the first trail race that you did? Had you trail run before that?
Trail running I did in cross country season. But gosh, I mean, oh Yeah, because I started when I was living out in Marshall. I was doing a bunch of trail runs. Yeah, in
this like
Shenandoah.
ties into your life story a little bit.
Yeah, so I guess the cycling, did the team, found out road wasn't really for me, kind of lost a bit of the competitive spirit really just with road cycling and stuff like that, and was still riding my bike but was a bit disenchanted with it. And I got a dog who is a big fur ball of love but also pure chaos and needed a lot of outlet. So I moved to Marshall, Virginia, which is close to Shenandoah National Park, and started doing trail runs. So I guess I got 2 dogs at that point when I was in Marshall, and really fell in love with the trail again. Honestly, largely because of my dogs. And that's, I don't know, that's really like neat to think about. I haven't really said that out loud in that concise of a way, but I was 10 to 15 minutes away from the closest Appalachian trailhead. And I would go out there in the mornings, even if it was just for 45 minutes, and take them for a little jog on the trails. And it was so peaceful, very calming. It was a time in my life where I really needed an escape from the city. I'd lived in DC since graduating college, and I'm not a city girl. I'm very much like mountain, woods, farm girl. But, you know, found my life here for, I don't know, I guess the past 10 years. And I found a lot of peace out there in the Shenandoah area, and spent a ton of time on the trails, and just started going longer. And there is a lot of beautiful cycling out there too. There's the gravel roads of the plains, which I don't know if you've heard Maggie talk about, but I rode those a lot, but really got into the trail scene in that way. And then we did fur butts, which Maggie has referenced, which was a backyard ultra. I'd never done one of those before, and I ended up running 24 miles for that one. And that was the longest that I had run. And then did Grindstone. So that fed into Grindstone in September last year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So Moab is like, I mean, the ultra world, like, it's like a year.
Like lead up. Yeah. Because when did you apply, and when did you find out got in?
It would have been January, I think.
And then the race is
October, yeah. So just about a year.
Yeah.
Well, and Cocodona, they just did the lottery. Like, the lottery closed for Cocodona 250, and that just happened. So that is a full year in advance. Yeah. And I had to convince myself not to sign up for the lottery for Cocodona 250. I was like, let me do Moab 240 first before I drop $2,500 on another race registration. We'll see.
Yeah. How do you feel? I mean, I think we could talk for a long time about the training for Moab, but how do you feel it's been going overall? Because there's been a lot of factors to it. You also moved back closer to the city now. You're not as close to the trails.
I think my Moab training is going okay. I think a lot of days I question if my volume is high enough right now as to where it should be. I am spending more time on the bike in training than I thought I would be, which I'm actually enjoying, and has been great for my joints, really. But I have also, despite not logging like 50 to 100 mile weeks, I feel good on my long trail runs. Like I did, during the 100K, I felt good for the majority of it. And towards the end, I did have a question at one point, like, Tara, this is only 62 miles and you're hurting like this. Like, what makes you think you can do 240? Just those seeds of doubt that were starting to plant in my mind, and I had to dismiss them. But I think I was actually pleasantly surprised by how well my body held up for that, despite how much it hurt. It's always, at some point in any race, it is going to hurt. But it has been tricky for me to try to manage my training load with building a business, and with, now the new pressure of trying to figure out a new place to live and all this stuff. So it'll be interesting. I know that I will be as prepared as I can be once I get there, and I am fully dedicated to my training. But it's the first ultra that I've done, so there is a lot of me too that's just, I don't want to get injured. And so to ramp up the mileage too quickly would be silly and foolish. So I'm trying to be smart about it. My coach is guiding me well with it, but I think that I would like to be more confident in my training in the coming months. I do still have, June, July, August, September. I still have 4 months.
You have a long time still.
I do have a decent ramp. So I guess that's actually really helpful to say that out loud, because I have not yet, because I'm like, it's tomorrow and I'm not ready. But I do still have a decent ramp time for it. So I would say at this time, maybe I'm feeling a little bit more than okay now that I think about how much longer I have. I'll be eager to see what the Silver Rush 50 holds because that is at like 12,000 feet. So pray for me, y'all.
How far in advance are you going out there? Are you going to adjust to that? That's
No.
wild. Oh my gosh.
No, I'm not. I'm just going to go out like 48 hours beforehand.
I guess that is what they say though, right? Like you either
Like
go
2
out
weeks
2 weeks
or 2 days.
Yeah.
So,
To adjust to the elevation.
yeah. Have you guys been to Leadville?
No, I've never been to Leadville. That's on the list. I'd love to go out there. Last summer when I was in Colorado, I was like, oh, let's drive out to Leadville, but we didn't end up doing it.
Where'd you go in Colorado, Holly?
We stayed around Boulder, and then so we have a friend. Our friend Logan lives in Superior, Colorado, which is on the Front Range there near Boulder, and then we went down to Golden and Red Rocks and whatever. So we stayed pretty much like on the Front Range. We didn't go further west.
You see a concert at Red Rocks?
We did not. Laura.
Laura
I love,
has though.
I love Red
and
Rocks.
one that you would appreciate.
Who'd you see?
Dermot Kennedy.
Oh my gosh. Wait, is this the friend that you were saying is going? Yes. Wait, Laura, which ones are you going to now? The concert, his new tour.
Chicago, Red Rocks, and Raleigh.
When is his
I
Red
ha-
Rocks concert?
October?
October what?
Tara's like,
I
I might
literally
join
think it's-
you.
No, I think it's like right around
I mean, are there still tickets available?
I don't know.
I might be in a wheelchair, but so if you don't mind pushing me,
I'll push you. Don't worry.
we can get ADA.
we might get better tickets if you're in a wheelchair.
I would 100% go. He's
That'd be
one of my
so
favorite artists. Yeah.
Same.
I love it.
My literal, like, him and Judah and the
Yeah.
Lion are the two people that I'm like,
I also
yeah.
love Judah. Yes. How did we not talk about this in our like 24 hours together?
I told you all you would be friends. I was like, this Unbound trip, everyone's going to get along. It's going to be great.
We
Truly.
bonded just standing in a
We did,
hailstorm.
yeah. So good.
Well, Judah's
love
due
it.
for another tour, so
Their album
Yeah.
comes out in August, so let us know if you want to join us.
I already pre-saved it. Holly, do you go too? Do you like them as well?
Yep.
She introduced me to Judah and the Lion.
Yeah. I'm a longtime
Excellent.
fan
Yeah,
of
we'll
them
have to
from
come.
way back all the way to before Pep Talks.
Yeah.
So way back
that
fan
is
of Judah. Yeah.
Long fan. Yeah, I'm excited for they're phenomenal live. So I'm excited about their new album and their tour.
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, that's so fun.
I know,
I'm
it's
excited
great.
now, yeah.
That was very off topic from average age groupers, but it's real life,
Sorry.
guys. It's real life.
It is,
Real life.
Yeah.
life. Tara does all her training and she goes to a lot of concerts.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I know
You
people
can
are
do
like,
it too.
right. They're like, you're seeing him how many times? And I was like, 3. What's the problem?
Yeah. That's normal.
it's fine.
I could spend my money
Well-
on far worse things. So
Yeah.
I agree.
This is the only issue is that I feel like everything that I want to spend money on is expensive now. Concerts, races.
I know, it's true.
It's just, yeah, bikes. It's tragic.
Indeed.
Before we let Tara go, because we know we're gonna have her back on, but maybe you want to talk a little bit about your business, because your business ties into this whole like endurance life also.
Yes, absolutely. So I do strength training in both in person. So I'm starting. Well, I'm not starting. I already have started a studio out of my home here in Arlington, Virginia, and that's been really great. I'm a very relational person, so doing things in person for me is key to keeping the spark alive for doing online coaching as well. And online, I'm really passionate about nutrition coaching. I do the personal training aspect of it as well online. I'll write programs in an app for strength training that is bespoke. So they are individualized programs to the person's goals and what their current ability is. And we progress from there. But then the nutritional aspect of it, I love coaching endurance athletes for nutrition. It's something that I've been kind of like an understudy of someone who is very accomplished in the nutrition world. I learned from, he was a former coach of mine several years ago, and I shadowed him quite a bit from the nutrition aspect and as well as his program writing for endurance training. So learned a ton from him. And I also studied, I went through a year-long program that was based in the UK, and it was online, but then this was for a nutrition program, sorry. Then I went in person for their like graduation to London. And what was really neat is they had a symposium where a bunch of researchers presented, and one of the guys he studied in a lab with Jukendrup. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that name. He's the pioneer of like high carb fueling. And so I got to go see his lab, which was really neat. Yeah, at the university. So that was cool. And I've just furthered my studies on my own and really enjoy it, and have worked with a lot of athletes who do full Ironman distances, half Ironman distances, and triathletes primarily, because I've partnered with a few triathlon groups, and that was kind of where I originally started with the endurance sports stuff, the longer distances, and have found that so many people leave so many gains on the table with nutrition. And even with I think what is particularly intimidating is there's just so much information out there. It can be super overwhelming and really challenging to parse through what is true and what's not, and what is best for you. Because yes, as humans, there are some blanket statements that you can make about nutrition that are widely applicable to just about everybody. And there are also a lot of very specific things that are super individualized, which is why I love the nutrition field, because you can get really granular, and that stuff really matters, and it affects not only your performance, but just your day-to-day living. So we spend so much time actually doing the training, and I think a lot of people don't realize how much more they can get out of their training if they just spend a little bit more time on the nutrition piece of it. So yeah, thanks for asking.
I feel like we could solely have you back for like a
for
nutrition,
whole nutrition episode.
Yeah, I love that.
Before we like wrap on this, you should also say like where people can find you. Because like,
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
yeah.
Instagram primarily. Tarah and Turquoise is my Instagram handle. So you're welcome to slide into my DMs there. And I also have a link in my Instagram bio where you can just submit a really short form that tells me a little bit about who you are and your goals. And then that leads you to a calendar booking where you can book a free consult with me, 30 minutes, to chat through what you're looking for and if I could be a good fit to help you toward your goals. So thank you.
And we'll put
And if you can't find Tarah, find us at
Yes,
Average
there
Age
you go.
Groupers, and we will direct you to Tarah because
Absolutely.
she's incredible.
Yes.
So.
We'll put Tara's Instagram in all of our links with the show notes on the YouTube description. I'm sure she'll be once we start launching these reels, we'll make sure she's a
we'll tag her in it.
collaborator, tagged, all of that stuff too.
Yeah.
Episode. Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited to see those. That's fun.
Well, I definitely want to have you back because I feel like we could talk more about your Moab training. We could talk more about the strength training and the nutrition coaching. So, and I mean, once you get close to Moab, I'm going to be so curious to just hear your thoughts and then a race recap afterwards.
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
yeah.
Likewise
We'll
for you for Kona.
We'll definitely have to do the race recap because that will be. I can't even imagine.
I can't
50 miles hurt so bad. I can't even.
The sleep part of it blows my mind.
That's one of the things I'm most concerned about is the sleep. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to pull a Rachel and sleep for like 19 minutes.
Yeah.
So I can't believe she did that at Cocodona, but
And it was 19 minutes total.
Insane.
Oh, Heather Jackson
built
was like
different.
hallucinating. at
Well, I
the
think
end.
they all did at one point.
No,
like-
but she was like bad hallucinating at the
Yeah.
end. Yeah.
Who was?
Like somebody-
Rachel?
Heather Jackson.
Heather Jackson.
Oh, Heather. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, that's why I want to pace her for every single second that I can have one because I am concerned about that. But yep. Anyhow.
It's going to be a wild experience.
Can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah.
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 And then we'll be at Dermot.
I love it so much. This is great.
It's gonna be great. Okay.
Well, should we
great.
wrap on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can wrap on that.
Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mom,
All
tell
the
your
things.
sisters, tell your
Yeah.
brothers.
Leave us comments,
Reviews.
reviews.
Share
Yeah, if you're not
Mm-hmm.
currently subscribed to us on Apple or Spotify or YouTube, it's super helpful if you could just click the little subscribe, follow, whatever the platform's recommended thing is. That would be awesome. And we have a Substack now, so you can check out if you prefer blog style. There's a Substack. Podcast episodes are there as well. We got a TikTok now.
Yep.
All the links, plus Tara's links, all that stuff will be
Amazing.
in the show notes. So,
All right.
Yay, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, y'all. Yeah, this is great. Super fun.
Okay, sign us
Okay,
out.
bye.